Hi, everyone, and thanks for being with us here at Child Protection Party. You may remember last week I did talk about the fact that a report came out suggesting that there were 500 kids that needed to be looked at because they were neglected. And this has come about because of the number of deaths that have occurred in relation to the passing away of children who have been known to the department. So the way the department chose to respond around this is by a knee-jerk reaction, which is simply, well, let's find out how many kids there are. Let's go in and do what we can to potentially remove those kids from their terrible parents, the circumstances under which they're living. Now, we don't know how they've evaluated how these kids were identified. We don't know whether it's because they've had a certain number of notifications or the types of notifications in relation to these kids. We have no idea as to the criteria because the department probably will never, ever release that information. But we do now know, though, that according to a report in the InDaily, that the raids on these families is currently taking place. And what we're asking you to do, I'll just read a little bit from the article in the moment just to become a little bit clearer about what the department is doing in association with the police. But what we'd like you to do is if you have an experience whereby the department have contacted you, then we would like you to let us know. I don't know if I can bring this up, but no, I can't. But what we'd like you to do is to contact us at admin@childprotection.party and let us know if the department has come and knocked on your door. So just to give you a sense as to what the reporting is at the moment, we have here welfare checks on about 500 South Australian children who have been identified in living in extremely vulnerable situations now underway. Despite union concerns, the work will add more pressure to a system already at breaking point. Well, there's nothing more exciting, I think, than knowing that whatever you're implementing at any given time is just going to break the system even further. So I did hear today that the government are looking to employ another 40 social workers who I have no idea where they're going to get these social workers from. They keep coming and going from the organisation simply because most social workers find it difficult to work there. But nevertheless, apparently, that's what they're doing. Child protection workers this morning started visiting approximately 500 children living in 400 houses to check the signs of neglect. Premier Peter Malinauskas described the work as substantial, with the bulk of the checks to be carried out by workers for the Department of Child Protection and Human Services under the oversight of police. So, have we now become a police state whereby we need to have the police standing by in order to do an investigation? Whatever happened to the days of a person just coming in, knocking on your door, saying, these are the concerns that we've got. We'd just like to have a chat to you about them. No. Apparently, we've got to be really heavy-handed now, and we've got to threaten people with the police. Now, it doesn't mean the police will enter the place, but it does mean that they're standing by, which is an intimidating... These people have not committed a crime. There is no evidence that most of these people would not have committed a crime, But my fear is that they're going to start using the neglect charge, so we're going to find more and more people who are charged with criminal neglect. And as a result, I think we're going to find more and more children removed because that particular bar is getting lower and lower. There are some instances where there are siblings involved, so it's a very substantial undertaking. Their process is sought to be done as expeditiously as possible. So who knows what the time frame is? Don't have any idea. So that review, conducted by former Police Commissioner Mal Hyde, found approximately 500 other children may be in extreme vulnerable situations. That doesn't mean that there were 500 kids that were in the same situations as those kids that died. As I say, we don't know what the specific circumstances were which made the department concerned about these particular 500 children. Kate Alexander also brought out a report last week, found the child protection system was currently stretched to breaking point. So here we have the department taking a knee-jerk reaction to the Hyde report, and then another report that comes out and says that the department's stuffed because it's at breaking point because they don't have enough staff. They're going to employ another 40. Who knows where in the hell they're going to get those 40 staff members from. The system is just going to get worse and worse and worse because, as I keep saying, they never really address the issues. It does go on to say that the union's General Secretary, Natasha Brown, said workers need to be considered to ensure the visits are carried out safely. Well, you know, they've been visiting houses for decades, and most of the places that they go to, they don't need police. So why do they need them under these circumstances? Who knows? They've got information that they're not sharing with us? Probably. The workload of Department of Child Protection staff needs to be managed to ensure that there are no further reasonable demands placed on a system that has already been identified in the Alexander report as being immense pressure. This is the unions. Our members have not been consulted by the Department of Child Protection and how these visits will be conducted safely and how it will be managing the impacts on their usual work protecting vulnerable children. Our members must be appropriately resourced and protected from unsafe situations as this situation evolves. Now, why is this situation any different from any other situation that the department may find themselves in? Every time they do an investigation, they don't have the police there unless they're fearful that there might be some violence. That is, there's a person there who has a history of violence. They're not going to understand that they need to be protected. But why, under these circumstances, do they need that protection and they need police to be standing by? I do not know. I think this is an overreach. I think it indicates to us that the department's getting far more heavy-handed around issues around child protection. I predict that there will be more and more children being removed, more and more families disadvantaged, more and more children being traumatised by being removed from families unnecessarily because the department simply is taking a knee-jerk reaction to a report. And as a result of all of that, the people that lose out the most, of course, are our kids. And a system which is the children court, the youth court is overloaded as it is, and this situation clearly is just making it worse. So it'd be interested to know what you think. If you know of anybody that has had children removed as a result of this current effort by the department, we'd like you to inform us here at Child Protection Party and contact us on admin@childprotection.party. So thanks everybody for being with me. If you've got any other issues that you'd like to talk about, some concerns that you have, some issues that particularly you think we're interested in and we'd like to talk to you about, if you've got a story that you'd like to tell us, we'd love to hear that story. Just contact us at admin@childprotection.party and we will do what we can to tell your story. Thanks everybody for being with us. Take care, look after yourselves and be safe.